All right, so Todd and I have predicted the way we think that Mickey Spagnola will respond to the catch. So we're going to give you the floor, and we're going to see if we're right or not. So you go ahead. What did you think about this?
You don't want to tell me first?
No. We're not going to tamper with the jury pool. No.
All right, so here's the deal. And it's always the easy way out for any sort of official or legal judge. You follow the letter of the law, and you can always fall on that. The problem is sometimes you have to interpret what you actually saw. And what you saw, and I understand the letter of the law is that you have to go to the ground with a catch to complete the catch and have possession. You have to make a football act first, okay? Well, what happened was, and in the letter of the law, it says you have to make a common football move. Well, what they saw was an uncommon athlete make an uncommon move to score a touchdown, and in that case, to me, it was a football move diving for the end zone, and it should have been a catch, fumble, recovery in the end zone for a touchdown.
Were we right, Todd? Would you consider that us being correct?
Kind of. The only thing, Mickey, we thought you would say, and you probably will still say this, but we thought included in your explanation would be the caveat of, however, there was still a lot of time left in the game, and that doesn't mean Dallas wins the game.
Well, it certainly doesn't, but it surely gives them a better chance.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
26-21 when they made the ruling and then decided that they weren't going to put 30 seconds back on the clock.
Now, that's the thing people aren't talking about, if you ask me. That was a mistake.
That snap came at 4:44, and when the referee blew his whistle to mark the ball, it was at 3:36. So when I was flying home last night, I looked at the score sheet, and I said, okay, let me see what time that ball was snapped. Well, they said it was snapped at 4:46. On TV, it was snapped at 4:44. But then the next play began at 4:06. And I was like, well, where did all that time go?
That's a great point.
If you're going to call an incomplete pass, then it's incomplete when the guy blew his whistle.
Great point.
The play dead, and they didn't do that. So the whole operation, they went to New York. Big Brother looked at it. They probably had 5 people consulting before they made a decision. When the poor guy on the field had to make it in a split decision, and his decision, I think, was more correct than anyone else's.
I did not even notice that live. That's exactly right. I'm looking at the replay right now. That's exactly right. There's no way that play took 46 seconds, right? Yeah, that's right.
I saw Mike Pereira tweeted about that when it happened. He said they got it right, but the clock should have been, he said it should have been at 4:32, not 4:06 is what it was at, I believe, when they ran it.
4:32 sounds like, I don't think that would take 14 seconds either. Sounds like that would be too much time off the clock. Like 4:39, I would think.
Yeah.
I watched it, and 4:36 is when the guy blew his whistle and marked the ball down.
Oh, okay.
So and then once they get the ball set, then the clock runs again. So you don't get to have 15 seconds to decide if you're going to have a challenge and then not put the play. Now, were those seconds going to make a big difference? That's just another thing of all the things I saw when I went back home last night. Kind of rewatched the game till about 1 in the morning. But look, what they saw, I don't think they could conceive that an athlete can go up in the air as high as he did with the guy draped all over him, great coverage, catch the ball, come down, take 2 steps, and have the wherewithal to not just fall on the ground, but dive for the end zone for the touchdown. And I told Des afterwards, I said, if you weren't such a great athlete, a normal person might have caught the ball, but he definitely would have fallen to the ground at the 2-yard line. And you would have had first and goal to 2. But because he is this other type of athlete that does things no one else does, he has the wherewithal to come down, take 2 steps, gain his balance, basically, and dive for the end zone for a touchdown. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Mickey, and we're going to talk ad nauseum probably for weeks, maybe even months about the Dez Bryant play. But
How about 47 years?
Yeah, probably so. One of the big momentum swings to me in the game, and certainly as a Packers fan watching the game, was right before halftime. Dallas is going in. Looks like they're going to go ahead by 2 scores.
Yeah.
And there's a pass to Jason Witten. They spot it incorrectly. They move it back. And on 3rd and 1, instead of running the ball, Dallas puts Tony Romo in the shotgun. He fumbles the snap. There's an incompletion. Then there's a false start and a missed field goal. Green Bay gets a field goal with that good field position. How big was that momentum change in your estimation?
Oh, I mean, it was huge. It's one of the many what-ifs in the game. And when you lose one like this, you always come back and look at decisions. I mean, you could do the same thing on 4th and 2, right? What if they had tried to run the ball and just thrown a short pass instead of throwing the ball to the end zone to Dez Bryant? Why they did that, I'm sure it wasn't the fact that, okay, let's call a pass. It was go to the line of scrimmage, see what you were facing, don't like the play we got called, and let's change it now. You can't fumble the snap. Now, he fumbled it. He didn't fumble it. He fumbled it. And then you get sacked. Okay, fine. But then you don't have to get a false start, right? And you got a false start
on the field goal.
Back 5 yards further on the field goal, and the was never comfortable kicking the entire time when he warmed up. As a matter of fact, one time he was practicing kickoff, and he went to kick the ball, and he slipped and fell right on his ass. I mean, he couldn't get any footing, and he was toe dipping the ball instead of driving through it. Now you got to go from 50. Do you kick that? Or do you say, you know what, maybe I should just punt, or maybe I should just go for it? And they decided to kick it. Well, okay, fine, but you didn't plan on another field goal getting either blocked or deflected. The ball got deflected. The chances are that would have been a good field goal. You can't block up front. So what if that, I believe it was Jones, gets up and he partially deflects the ball, and all of a sudden, if you go back and look at it, it looks like a partially wounded duck going up there. He never misses by that much. So, again, all that stuff goes into it, and then you can't stop them going down and kicking their own field goal. It's a 6-point swing, and you lose by 5.
I have a million things to ask you, but your energy is so high about this game, and so I don't want to lose it.
It was a great football game.
It was, and so I don't want to lose it, so I'm just going to ask a very broad question, and this is not a very good interviewer of me, but just give me the next thing, the next biggest thing that you have been talking about with all of your with players, with coaches, or with fellow media members. The next biggest thing that you guys have talked about since this game ended is?
Since the game has ended?
Correct.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Besides the play, right?
Yeah,
right. Besides the play, yeah.
Everything was the play. You know what? Here it was. And to me, we can discuss the play. We can discuss everybody. A couple of questions I got last night was about the defense. They had problems in the second half. And I said, hey, that was this defense. They were going up against the number 1 scoring offense in the National Football League that was averaging 30 points a game. To me, a Cowboy questionable defense all season long held them to 26. The offense needed to score. They didn't score their 30 points. In 10 of the 13 wins this year, they scored 30 points. They only scored 21. The way this team won, they weren't winning with 21 points. They had to score more. And there was a couple just lame possessions in there that cost them probably the game as much as the final play of that last series. You had the one series there where they had the 2 sacks. They were moving the football, and then it ended that series. They had to score more points. And to me, I don't know if it was not enough possessions or enough plays, but Tony Romo only threw the ball 19 times. How many times did Aaron Rodgers throw the ball? 34? Am I right?
35. 24, 35.
Okay. So, to me, the Cowboy offense as a whole didn't do enough. I don't care that DeMarco Murray ran for 120-some yards. I don't care that Tony Romo's quarterback rating was 143. They didn't score enough points to be able to beat a team at home that was the number one scoring offense in the National Football League.
Our Dallas Cowboys insider, Mickey Spagnola, with us on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready hotline. This is kind of an off-the-wall question, Mickey, and I know that we'll have you on again and talk more about the offseason for the Cowboys and what it holds. But Zach and I were talking about this earlier, and I don't know if you know the answer or not. Had Dallas been the 2 seed and had they been hosting a game this weekend, how were all the logistics going to work out with the national championship game in the stadium tonight?
I bet that game would have been on Saturday. That would start there.
I don't know if they could have changed the Cowboy game. Yeah, you're right. They probably would have moved it to Saturday. You're exactly right. That would have been the only way they could have avoided, I think, an issue, although that would have been an issue, too, because of all the planning and all the decorations that were going in the stadium. Either way, it was going to be a headache. But I think, you kind of could have played it on Sunday, and I mean, they've changed over that stadium in 24 hours before, and it would have been a noon game, and you would have even had more time. There might have been some, whatever they did at the stadium yesterday or Saturday, I'm not sure what took place, or Sunday, I mean, would have had to be moved someplace else.
That would have been wild. That would have been wild.
But they have the ability, and I've seen them do it before, change over that place in 24 hours.
How would hotels have been, too, had those 2 games
my
been
gosh.
in 24 hours?
Yeah, if you were traveling here, there's enough hotels in the area. You just might have to drive 30 miles or so, you know?
And pay $400 a night.
You know what my solution would have been, Mickey?
What's that?
Green Bay, Dallas in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, God bless. All right, Mickey, good talk to you. Hey, we might buzz you, during the playoffs and just get you a little, little thoughts about the off season and what else is going on in these conference championship games. We might buzz you on Thursday if you don't mind.
Oh, for sure, call me Thursday. Heck, if you want to call me tomorrow, call me tomorrow. I ain't got nothing.
You got free time. That's right. You got free time. See you later, Mickey.
All right, see you guys.
All right, man. Mickey Spagnola on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready hotline.